All right, we're rolling. Welcome, as always, to another Cash Practice Training Tuesday. Really appreciate you joining me. If you are watching the replay, please comment with replay. And if you're here live, please comment with live. Today, we're going to be starting kind of a series. I'm going to be doing a handful of these, sharing some stuff that we're doing in my mastermind group on tragedy proofing or bulletproofing your practice. Because here's the thing, guys. There are a lot of things out there that could hurt your business as bad or much worse than the current COVID-19 pandemic, believe it or not. And a lot of those things are way more common than pandemics. You know, they happen all the time, not just every 100 years. So I'm taking my group through kind of a series of questions and things to analyze in their business. And then we're going to have kind of like set pieces of homework and things to do to plan out how we can mitigate any damage that is caused if those things happen. So today we're going to start with looking at, and this is what I want everyone here watching these to do as well. You're not going to get all the details and all the guidance, but through these videos you can get a taste of it and start to work on bulletproofing your own practice. So what we did today in the mastermind was looked at roles in our business. So unless we're a solo practitioner, we do have staff. And the idea here is that you need to be able to mentally, let go, fire, whatever, this person quits or leaves for some reason, of everyone in your business, and ask the question, what would happen to the business if that happened? Hey, how terrible would the next few weeks or months be without that person in that role? Until I got it filled and someone else trained. And so the idea here is that whether you're a solo provider and you're just documenting your own systems as you go and literally putting on your calendar an hour each week to really start to document and record everything you do on a daily basis that keeps your business running, right? Whether it's logistical, administrative, patient care, every little detail that you go through, everything you do for marketing, all of that needs to be documented so that you can start to, one, get it off your plate if you're a solo practitioner. And two, if you've got someone doing those things, you're having them document and you're going through that system and that process with them. Because, I learned the hard way a long time ago of just trusting staff to document or create their own systems and document them. And then later going back through it and being like, after 3 or 4 months of using the system, being like, wow, this is actually completely wrong. Or, they were taking 5 steps to do something that could have easily taken 2 or 3 steps, and you're paying for those inefficiencies in different ways. So whether it's you doing the documentation or all your staff members, you need to make sure that everyone is documenting the systems that they're a part of. And then sitting down, scheduling the time to go through and look at those systems and saying, does that make sense to you? Or does it make sense to, the next person that's going to look at this? And, let them know that I'm not doing this because I'm expecting anyone to leave or having to let anyone go. We are just working to tragedy and bulletproof our business, and any one person the business cannot be reliant on any one person, including you, which was kind of phase 2 of this first kind of week with the mastermind is, what happens if you can't work? What happens if you can't do your administrative duties? What happens if you can't do your marketing stuff? What happens if you're still treating patients and you can't treat patients anymore, right? And so, at a minimum, if you don't have if you don't have disability insurance to some degree, then you need to look at that. If the revenue coming into your business has a lot to do with the patients that you're seeing or the other activities that you're a part of, and if you couldn't do that for any given period of time, what would happen to your business? If it would knock you out, shut you down, you've got to get some insurance against that. And you've got long-term disability and your short-term disability. Now, if you keep a big enough emergency fund in cash in your business such that you could make it for 3 months without your particular duties, so you have other staff that can keep things going, or if you're a solo practitioner and you just have enough of an emergency fund, then you might not need to pay for short-term disability. But at whatever point in time, I think for me, it's like around 3 months. If something happened to me and it went beyond 3 months, then I can tap into that long-term disability plan. And yeah, there is a cost to these things, but I'm telling you, things happen. You never know what life is going to throw at you. You know, if I hadn't had great staff with documented systems in place to keep things going when I had to spend 3 months in the hospital with my son last year and the year before last, that could have been the end of Carter physiotherapy. It really could have. You know, I mean, I was still seeing patients just 1 day a week, and even that was a struggle. And so it was really my staff that I had in place and the systems that I was able to say, look, here are my documented systems. I need you to start doing this. That they were able to pick up, you know, for the things that I couldn't do myself, and put those on their plate and keep the you know, the boat moving forward. It was really, really touching, really amazing. And if I had been a solo practitioner, I didn't have those systems and that staff in place, that probably would have been the end of the practice, or at least really close to it. So you never know what life is going to throw at you. Obviously, we're in the midst of a good example of that right now. So please take the time now, while you have the time, while it's top of mind, while it's like, wow, this is crazy what this is doing to my practice, my business. And don't just think, how can I get through this pandemic? Think, how can I get through all the other things that life might throw at me and my business? So remove yourself from the business, remove every one of your staff members, and say, what can I put in place? What kind of system, automation, whatever the case may be, can I put in place to make sure that if I had to replace them quickly, that would happen and the business would not get hit so hard as it would right now if any of those roles were removed. Okay, we'll end it there, guys. As always, if you appreciate this information, please give me a thumbs up. Ask any questions in the comments that you have for me. Make sure to get back to you. Thank you, as always, for joining me on Tuesdays here, and I'll see you at the next one.